Oh, good morning, everyone. I decided to be at the table today. Uh, you know, uh, I noticed lately, most of the time I try to sit in this low seat right here, and I just didn't feel like sitting there today. I've been sitting at the table in this chair doing a little bit of studying. I've done read Don't Sweat the Small Stuff to myself, and then I've been reading from this book, which is for my own personal, it's Conscious Union with God by Joel S. Goldsmith. By the way, I'm Gray Cloud, Sage of the Eternal Moment. Welcome to the channel. This is Gray Cloudy Day. The channel is Gray Cloudy Day. And if you're subscribed, I consider you as a part of the Fellowship of the Clouds. Maybe one day we'll discuss more about. I do need to get to that. I need to get more back to talking about that time I went out in the woods back then and came out of there and therefore have walked around by the name of Gray Cloud instead of Jason from back then. But I really just haven't got back to that yet. And so hit the like button if you can, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm just trying to remember some things that I a lot of times don't put in videos. I've been pretty consistent here lately on doing that. If I don't get it in there, it's not that big a deal because it's going to grow however it grows. I'm not doing this so much for, I'm not doing this YouTube channel to be famous or anything. I'm just doing it to hopefully share a little bit of experience of life, something maybe I say or do, or something that comes through me from God, when the Spirit's moving. Maybe something said at some point that helps somebody somewhere and they realize they're not alone in this world either. I haven't felt that great the past few days. So physically, I wasn't feeling that great. Yesterday, I went to church and I had to leave early. I had David bring me home after Sunday school. And but I also just haven't been feeling that great mentally because where I've been feeling physically, I've just for the past few days, I really haven't done a whole lot of anything. And the lack of doing anything is kind of, I think it got me stuck in my head yesterday a little bit, but that's not why I left church. I was actually physically feeling bad. This morning, I feel a little bit better than I have been feeling, and I've been up for a little while already. Like I said, studying. I've got some eggs cooked, and after I do this video, I'm going to eat me a few eggs, maybe play some music, and do a little bit of cleaning, try to keep from just laying down and doing nothing. Plus, get out of my head. I don't want to. I'm trying to fight off a little bit of the blues, just things going on that I don't want to have to. I can't really describe it, but let's get on with this. Don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff, and that's what I'm trying to remember. It is all small stuff in the grand scheme of things. Most things that can be worrisome to me are not worth even the time of day of thought. Number 95, trust your intuitive heart. How often have you said to yourself after the fact, I knew I should have done that? How often do you intuitively know something but allow yourself to think yourself out of it? Yeah. Trusting your intuitive heart means listening to and trusting that quiet inner voice that knows what it is you need to do, what actions need to be taken, or changes need to be made in your life. Many of us don't listen to our intuitive heart for fear that we couldn't possibly know something without thinking it through, or for fear that legitimate answers could possibly be so obvious. We say things to ourselves like, that couldn't possibly be right, or I couldn't possibly do that. And as soon as we allow our thinking mind to enter into the picture, we think ourselves out of it. We then argue for our limitations and they become ours. Yeah. I think that's what's been going on with me the past few days. I've gotten out of sync somewhere. But this morning I'm back. It's Monday. I'm doing this reading for you guys. So I'm getting a check mark down on some of the things that I haven't done in a few days, which was I hadn't made a video in a couple of days, and I think that affects me too. But let's get back to the reading, and then I can talk if I want to, if I have anything to elaborate on. So, if you can overcome your fear that your intuitive heart will give you incorrect answers, if you can learn to trust it, your life will become the magical adventure it was meant to be. Trusting your intuitive heart is like removing the barriers to enjoyment and wisdom. It's the way to open your eyes and your heart to your greatest source of wisdom and grace. If you're unfamiliar with trusting your intuition, start by setting aside a little quiet time to clear your mind and listen. Ignore and dismiss any habitual self-defeating thoughts that enter your mind and pay attention only to the calm thoughts that begin to surface. If you find that unusual yet loving thoughts are appearing in your mind, take note of them and take action. Okay. If, for example, you get the message to write or call someone you love, go ahead and do it. If your intuitive heart says you need to slow down or take more time for yourself, try to make it happen. If you're reminded of a habit that needs attention, pay attention. You'll find that when your intuition gives you messages and you respond with action, you'll often be rewarded with positive, loving experiences. Start trusting your intuitive heart today, and you'll see a world of difference in your life. Amen on that. Now, of course, I mentioned yesterday, or the last time I made a video, I mentioned about how this is written from a standpoint where he's talking a lot about, because I think he's a psychiatrist or was a psychiatrist of some sort, and then he started writing books and talking about the subjects and how to help people. And so it's written from a kind of common sense perspective, a layman's terms that he does, I don't, even though he doesn't really mention much anything in their spiritual stuff in these writings in this book, I see correlations with other spiritual things that I study, or I see where, like for instance, this particular reading, thinking about my intuition, when I first read it this morning, I thought about how, if you'll remember, when I was going through about to get my toe, where I had dealing with my toe before that piece got taken off, I went against my gut feeling when I first went to the ER, and I went with the doctor they referred me to instead of the doctor I'd already been seeing that has cut several cysts out of my back, which is also another thing altogether that's going on with me now physically. I have another lump on my back, and I'm going to have him address that. I see him on April the 4th. If this thing starts giving me problems, right now it is giving me issues sleeping and being comfortable sometimes. And just, I don't know. But if it gets worse throughout the next few weeks before my appointment, I'll call and see if they can get me in there. But that being said, I'm just meaning, it turned out though, on that day that I was supposed to see both doctors, and this guy that's already done stuff on my back, he also works on the toe. He's a general surgeon. So he took over the thing, and now that's who I'm back to seeing. And like, if I just went with what I knew was right in the first place, that I should have just contacted his office, I would have been done with a lot of the stuff about my foot and toe a lot sooner than I got it done. But, sometimes I don't know. Like, I think I'm doing all right, and I realize I might not be. But I know this morning I'm doing all right. I'm doing better than I've done in the past. As far as the way I feel right now, I'm not feeling so depressed. I was pretty out of it the past few days, as far as just stinking thinking, if you get what I mean. And So I'm grateful that this morning I'm feeling somewhat more uplifted than I have been feeling, and I'm going to try to roll with it. The only thing that's a bummer today is it's not, the sun's going to be out, but it's not going to get, it's only going to be up in the 40s today, and we're supposed to get down in the 20s sometime tonight. So I picked, it's like the day that I decide to get up and kind of be active for a little while. It's not quite that nice outside, but I did walk Lady Bird already once. Might try to do that again before, but I'm going to get a few things done. I'm going to get off here. I hope you guys have a good day. I don't know if I'll put anything else up today. I may do a small little short and show you the puppies again and Ladybird or something here later today. That might be something fun to do. Just kind of give you a picture or two of them and a little short or something video. So, and I'm going to get off here, eat a little those eggs, and try to do a few more things around the house before I maybe, get back into like a rut or like a slow spot. Until next time, this is Gray Cloud. Says the eternal moment over and out. Ditto.